President Trump announced another big shakeup at the White House Thursday. In a tweet, the president announced former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations John Bolton will be his next national security advisor.
President Trump dropping the bombshell on Twitter, saying about his national security advisor, "I informed John Bolton last night that his services are no longer needed at the White House."
Hell hath no fury like a walrus scorned. All around life of the party, John Bolton appeared on CNN recently, and he offered some astonishing details about Trump and his relationship with Vladimir Putin, especially in light of Trump's interview at the time with Elon Musk, where Trump said some stunning things about his special friend in Russia.
And again, I said to Vladimir Putin, I said, don't do it. You can't do it, Vladimir. You do it, it's going to be a bad day. You cannot do it. And I told him things that what I do, and he said, no way. So I had a good relationship with Putin, despite the Russia hoax that lasted for over 2 years.
Hey, pal, say it, don't spray it, okay? Well, as you're about to see, John Bolton has just about as much regard for the sibilant suckwind from South Florida as I do. Well, Bolton and Trump, you know, they have a long and storied history, but say what you will about John Bolton, well, he doesn't mince words. And as you're about to see, on CNN not long ago, he spilled the beans on what Trump's hero really thinks of old slushmouth.
He respected me, and it's just one of those things.
And how he's been playing Donald all along, like the rube that he is.
Putin seemed to be playing games right from the start, arriving for the meeting 1 hour late. He drove in his new limousine, the Cortege, built to rival Trump's Beast. They look almost identical, but Putin reportedly had his built just a little bigger. As they faced the world's media, President Trump winked at the Russian strongman. Yep, he winked. Putin handed Trump a soccer ball.
That will go to my son Barron. We have no question. In fact, Melania, here you go.
The president tossed it to the first lady, sitting there in the front row.
So sit back with the hawkish right wing's answer to Wilford Brimley.
Cost you 1 nickel and 4 pennies.
Because this clip should brighten your day.
Trump is having this conversation with Elon Musk that had some big technical delays, but now is underway. It kind of sounds a lot like what you hear from Trump at a campaign rally. Not a ton surprising there, but he did say something to Elon Musk. I want to read you the quote. It's Trump recounting a conversation he says he had with Vladimir Putin, and appears to be in regard to invading Ukraine, going into Ukraine, something we knew Putin wanted to do. Trump said, quote, "I said to Putin, don't do it, Vladimir. And I told him things that what I would do. And he said, no way. And I said, way." And Trump says, it's the last time we had the conversation. He would have never done. I get along very well with him, and I hope to get along well with him again. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. What do you make of one, just that story, but also Trump's argue of how much influence he has on the Russian leader?
Well, I think Trump's making that up. He certainly didn't have that conversation with Putin when I was in the White House. I don't believe he had it before then. I can't really speak to what came after. But this is another case of Trump making things up that it's hard to prove or disprove. He can say he had some private conversation at a dinner at a G20 meeting or something like that. I don't think it happened. And I don't think that there was really an occasion for Trump to have that conversation, but it fits the persona that Trump thinks he has. I personally, having watched Trump and Putin together on several occasions, having listened into their phone conversations, having myself met Putin on any number of occasions going back to October of 2001, I think that that Putin essentially thinks that Trump is an easy mark. He doesn't respect him, but he understands that using flattery with Trump can get him a long way. I think if Trump did put together the meeting he says he wants to have between Zelensky and Putin in a room together to solve the Ukraine crisis, I think Putin would take Trump to the cleaners to Ukraine's detriment.
Well, I mean, it's an incredibly serious conversation, and obviously the Ukrainians are deeply involved, but just to hear him describing it as, I mean, it sounds like two high school girls. I told him things that what I would do, and he said, no way. And I said, way. I mean, is that how world leaders talk from your experience?
Trump, no, it's not even how Donald Trump talks. It's how he wished he talked and how he wished he could show that that he's the big alpha guy. But this is imagination on Trump's part. And it shows he really doesn't understand what's at stake here. He knows very little history. He certainly knows next to nothing about the history of Ukraine and Russia, which is deeply complicated even for experts. So to me, the way he recounts these conversations is one more demonstration that he's just not fit to be president.
Expert, joking smoker. Don't you think that joker laughs at you, Donald?
Richard Nixon looks like a choir boy next to Donald Trump.
Well, the phony big alpha guy is not fit to serve, says the hawkish walrus. And at this point, I'd have to defer to John Lennon on this magical misery tour with only this to say, goo goo gajoob, and God help America.